And bracing for the worst along the Gulf Coast, we'll tell you what to expect from Tropical Storm Isidore. Democrats and the president butt heads.
He ought to apologize to the American people.
A war of words over a possible war over Iraq. Also, warning signs in your mouth, why your dentist may be checking out more than just your teeth. Hello, everyone. I'm Stan Turner, and thank you very much for joining us. Residents along the Gulf Coast are in for a drenching as Tropical Storm Isidore moves closer. Forecasters say the storm is not expected to regain hurricane strength, but that does not mean that Gulf State residents are in the clear. And that makes our weather story our top story this half hour. Residents are preparing for the worst from High Island, Texas to St. Marks, Florida. Now that's the stretch where tropical storm warnings are now in effect. Once Isidore hits land, parts of the South can expect up to 10 inches of rain, isolated tornadoes, and winds gusting to 50 miles per hour. In Gulf Shores, Alabama, folks are boarding up windows because of the expected high winds and heavy rains. One restaurant owner says it's better to do the work now than be sorry later.
It doesn't take but one lawn chair, one garbage can lid to come roaring through and bust out a glass door, and then it rains on it for the next 12 hours and does some real damage. So,
the Weather Channel's Mike Seidel joins us now from Alabama with an update on Isidore's approach.
Tropical Storm Isidore makes its move towards the Gulf Coast, expected to make landfall tomorrow morning near New Orleans, and will again bring heavy rainfall and gusty winds. Check out this surf right now, running 12 to 15 feet. We've been seeing this all day long. We're in Gulf Shores, well east of New Orleans. The other concern has been very heavy rainfall. So far, rainfall totals of 3 to 5 inches, with another 5 to 10 expected, and the potential for more severe weather and additionally some localized severe weather, including tornadoes, through the overnight hours and into Thursday. The other concern here on the beaches, not so much surge, but look at the beach erosion. Look how the waves have cut into this beautiful white sandy beach in Gulf Shores, and that will continue to be a problem right into Thursday and Friday. As the winds pick up overnight, we could get wind gusts here 40 to 50 miles an hour. There is a tropical storm warning, a flood watch, a tornado watch, and a hurricane watch, as Isidore again expected to make landfall in coastal Louisiana early on Thursday. This is Mike Seidel from the Weather Channel reporting for All News Channel in Gulf Shores, Alabama.
Thank you, Mike. Now, Isidore is not your average-sized storm. Strong winds and rain extend about 350 miles around the center, and that means that Isidore's effects will be felt much farther inland. Over the next 72 hours, remnants of the storm will produce much-needed rain all the way up to the nation's northeast, anywhere from 1 to 5 inches possible. The out-of-control wildfire near Los Angeles could soon take a turn into the San Bernardino National Forest. The so-called Williams Fire is now more than 11 miles long and has forced hundreds of people to flee their homes. 3 cities have declared states of emergency, and fire officials estimate the 22,000-acre blaze is only 10% contained at this point. The sky around Los Angeles is so smoky that some school kids could not go outside to play today.
Our recess, we don't have any recess because of the smoke and stuff with our lungs.
The students probably will not be going outside anytime soon. Firefighters say rugged terrain and the hot weather there are making it difficult to battle that blaze. A remark by President Bush questioning the Senate's interest in protecting the American people has angered Senate Democrats. Both sides are accusing the other of bringing politics into the debate on Iraq. All News Channel's Kirk Gallup has the details.
You tell those who fought in Vietnam and in World War II they're not interested in the security of the American people. That is outrageous. Outrageous.
Senate Majority Leader Tom Daschle delivered an impassioned speech on the Senate floor. His anger was directed at President Bush for implying that Senate Democrats aren't interested in the security of the American people.
That is wrong. We ought not politicize this war. We ought not politicize the rhetoric about war and life and death.
The president's remark came at a public event before this fundraising speech in Trenton, New Jersey on Monday. Mr. Bush said, quote, "The House responded, but the Senate is more interested in special interests in Washington and not interested in the security of the American people." The president was referring to a resolution he's seeking from Congress that would authorize the use of force to remove Saddam Hussein from power.
I've been in this Congress 50 years.
I've never seen a president of the United States or the vice president of the United States stoop to such low level.
Democratic leaders are backing Daschle, who demanded an apology. The White House said there won't be one. Senate Republican leader Trent Lott came to the president's defense, asking Daschle who's the enemy, the president of the United States or Saddam Hussein.
You can't ignore the subject. And to allege when you talk about it that you're politicizing it, I think is a little bit disingenuous, to say the very least.
Democrats say the president's request to Congress is far too broad, giving him open-ended and unilateral authority to use military power against Iraq. At the same time, Daschle and House Democratic leader Dick Gebhardt have both signaled support for the legislation that the president wants. I'm Kirk Gallup, All News Channel.
In Africa, words of relief from Americans who were trapped for days at their missionary school in the Ivory Coast.
We might go to the States. Yes, we're very happy to get off campus. Okay.
French troops evacuated the mostly American staff and students from their school in the city of Bouaka. Gunfire erupted outside that school between government soldiers and rebel forces who made a failed coup attempt. U.S. forces have arrived in the West African nation now to protect any Americans who might still be in danger. Protesters are off to an early start as they prepare for the International Monetary Fund meetings in Washington, D.C. this weekend. A small group gathered outside the World Bank building today. They say they will send a bigger message on Friday, namely a threat to shut down D.C. to send a message against capitalism and war. The government is bracing for possible cyber demonstrations as well as street protests. D.C. police say they are preparing for trouble. It's out of the cockpit and onto the picket line for dozens of unhappy America West pilots. About 50 of them picketed outside Sky Harbor Airport in Phoenix today. The pilots say America West management is delaying contract negotiations that started in February of 2000. The negotiation center on pay and retirement. The picketing did not affect flight schedules. America West is based in Tempe, Arizona. It's strange but true, some pieces of Enron are gaining popularity on the auction block, that is. That story coming up, but first, home sales may be the only thing with a firm foundation on shaky economic ground these days, but is this the right time to buy that house?
I'm Mike Johnson. Some kitchen inventions that could take you out of the kitchen and onto better things. Plus, the answer to long lines at airport security checkpoints could be on the horizon. Your consumer news is next.
Across America in 30 minutes, you're watching All News Channel.
Weeds, brush, brambles, they're turning parts of your land into an overgrown jungle. But now there is a solution. The amazing new DR Field and Brush Mower can help you reclaim overgrown parts of your property and keep your place looking great with less work than you ever dreamed possible. Now, you could try to mow this overgrown roadside ditch with a handheld brush cutter. Or you might try to use a sickle bar style mower, but these machines vibrate so much they're exhausting to use. In contrast, the DR Field and Brush Mower is the picture of smoothness. The DR knocks over brush and saplings up to 2 inches thick and chops everything into small pieces so there's no tangle of vegetation to trip over. And when you're done mowing, there's nothing left to rake, pick up, burn, or dispose of. The DR's secret is that it works much like a big tractor-mounted brush mower, but in a walk-behind version that's scaled and priced just right for homeowners. Plus, the DR can mow on slopes where you'd never take a tractor, and it can mow in soft, wet areas where a tractor would sink up to its axles. With its lighter weight and wide tires, the DR mows wet fields, along streams, and around ponds with ease. 4 speeds and 9 to 17 horsepower let you mow wide-open spaces at nearly an acre an hour. Or you can take your time in woodlots, thinning out the underbrush around trees you want to keep. There's even a reverse gear for maneuvering in tight places. So if parts of your property are getting so overgrown that no ordinary mower can keep them under control, call now for complete details on the amazing new DR Field and Brush Mower. Try out a DR Field and Brush Mower for 30 days risk-free. Call 1-800-258-8855. That's 1-800-258-8855 for your free DR catalog and video. Online at drfieldbrush.com.
Stocks are skidding, corporate scandals are continuing, and job losses are mounting. So is this any time to buy a house? Maybe, maybe not. All News Channel's senior national correspondent Barton Eckert found out that it depends on who you are and where you are.
From Washington to Florida to Minnesota, down to Texas and across to San Francisco Bay. The people at Kiplinger's Personal Finance have found some interesting nuggets to ponder. The median price of a home has risen 29% since 1997. This has our 401ks dropped like a rock.
The more moderately priced houses are selling like crazy. Interest rates are extremely low.
With prices so high, what's hot and what's not, region by region, and why?
The Midwest is always the exception. It never gets crazy.
How about the Southeast of Florida, for example?
Florida has been very, very strong for a number of years.
Now you take San Francisco and the Silicon Valley, and that's problematic. But oh, that stock market and the bursting of the dot-com bubble. Seems it's the high-end stuff caught in the crunch.
You know, the market probably is not going to be this way forever, but right now, it sure makes a housing investment look safer.
What if you get laid off, you don't have a job? How do you pay for your home? Kiplinger says most families that own homes are two-income families, and not all are stretched to the fullest extent of those two incomes. So if that's the case, chances are the family can ride out any layoff storm. In Washington, Barton Eckert, All News Channel.
Bad news about August home sales was not enough to stop a rebound on Wall Street. After 2 days of 100-plus point losses, the Dow gained ground on Wednesday. It ended up almost 159 points to close at 78.41. The Nasdaq also took a turn for the better, closing up 40 points at 12.22. Your days of waiting at airport security checkpoints could be numbered. Here's Mike Johnson with more.
The government is debating a program that could ease congestion at airport security checkpoints. The Registered Traveler Program would issue transportation ID cards to frequent flyers, allowing them to easily pass through security. The program would first be tested on transportation workers at Los Angeles and Philadelphia international airports. If successful, ID cards would be extended to passengers. The program can't get underway, though, until Congress gives the go-ahead. One more product joins the teeth whitening aisle, and the smarter kitchen appliances get, the easier it is on you. Stacey Stark has those stories and more.
Tired of hand washing all those pots and pans? Maytag's newest dishwasher will do them for you. The Jet Clean 2 has a third rack, just tall enough for broiler pans, frying pans, and cookie sheets. It sells for anywhere from $450 to $700. With the latest oven, you can put dinner in the oven first thing in the morning. Whirlpool is out with an oven that refrigerates. The Polaro refrigerator range can be programmed to keep foods cool while you're away all day, then to cook so dinner can be taken hot from the oven when you get home. If you're unexpectedly late, the oven chills again. The cost, $1,800. The toothpaste aisle is awash with teeth whitening systems. Here's one more. Mentadent Tooth Whitening System. It promises to give you a gleaming white smile in just 1 week. Experts say the secret is the delivery system.
It allows you to mix the ingredients fresh every time you place it in the tray, and it's very convenient because you only have to wear the trays 10 to 15 minutes a day.
Mentadent's at-home kit costs about $20. This is Stacey Stark, All News Channel.
And that's your consumer news. I'm Mike Johnson.
Thank you, Mike. It's become a symbol of American corporate greed, and now that symbol, the famous Enron E, is grabbing some green of its own. The big E hit the auction block Wednesday and fetched a whopping $44,000. The sign was part of Enron's logo at its Houston, Texas headquarters. Everything from the E to mugs and air hockey tables were auctioned off to pay Enron's creditors. Enron filed for bankruptcy last December amid a wave of accounting scandals. Cavities, canker sores, bright red gums. Usually those mean a trip to the dentist, but could those dental problems point to something more? Well, coming up in health news, why your mouth may be trying to tell you something.
Does every night seem like a battle over homework and still your child is not reaching their potential?
Daily, she was doing homework for 3, 4 hours at a time.
It really hurt me that I could not be with the class.
I didn't know how to help her.
There is help from the creators of Hooked on Phonics, an amazing learning system, Hooked on School Success. Your child learns how to reduce homework time, improve study habits, gain self-confidence, and get better grades. Your child moves through 4 progressive levels, learning how to write meaningful book reports, increase reading comprehension using maps, and use special tools like a mind map to cut homework time. Your child then takes what she learns and applies it to schoolwork.
She's now an A student in class.
Your child will have greater confidence and get better grades in 60 days or your money back. Call this toll-free number. Order in the next 10 minutes and you'll also get this personal digital assistant free. It features a scheduler, calculator, phone book, and more. Call now.
I live in America.
I live in America.
I live in America.
I live in America.
We live in America. We are an American family.
We've worked hard.
We work hard for what we have.
And we appreciate what we've earned.
We love our work.
We love our work.
We love our kids.
We love our kids.
Our time together.
Our time together.
Our time together
is very important.
We've worked hard to build a good life for ourselves.
I take a lot of pride in that.
For us, it's the American dream. It's the American dream.
At ANC, we believe in delivering news that's relevant, without hype or sensationalism. ANC brings an honest picture of life in America, how real people and real families work to make it better.
Honesty.
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 Relevance.
Relevance.
News that's important to me.
And now here's a look at the hour's top stories. Residents along the Gulf Coast are bracing for the worst as Tropical Storm Isidore moves closer. Parts of the region could get up to 10 inches of rain, isolated tornadoes, and winds up to 50 miles per hour. Senate Democrats and President Bush are accusing each other of politicizing the debate over Iraq. Democrats are upset with the president for questioning the Senate's interest in protecting the American people. A 22,000-acre wildfire near Los Angeles could soon veer into the San Bernardino National Forest. Hundreds of people have been forced to flee their homes.
Heavy downpours signal the impending arrival of Isidore along the central Gulf Coast. Another dry day ahead for the Southwest. Isidore is taking aim at the New Orleans area. Flood watches are in effect from Louisiana to Florida. Up to 10 inches of rain is expected in some areas. Lows in the 60s and 70s. Further west, Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas stay dry. Pleasant weather overnight, 50s to 70s for lows. The heat is off for the Southwest. Nice temps on the coast, low of 42 for Reno. Cold and clear for the Pacific Coast. Denver sees rain. 40s for Seattle and Portland. Cold and wet from the Black Hills to the Upper Peninsula. Chance of storms in the Twin Cities. Lows mainly in the 30s and 40s. More clouds pushing into the northeast. A few showers for the nation's capital. Lows in the 50s and 60s. Thursday's forecast, the Gulf Coast gets the full measure of Isidore. Stormy on the Carolina coast. 50s in the upper Midwest. A mix of 70s and 80s for the Gulf Coast states. Charlie Stellick, All News Channel.
Your dentist may be able to recognize signs of non-dental disease just by looking at your mouth. Plus, new developments about Gulf War syndromes. With those stories and more, here's Jody Davis with a look at your health.
A new study adds to a growing body of evidence on so-called Gulf War syndrome. It suggests military personnel who were exposed to low-level chemical agents during the Gulf War do not have higher rates of physical or psychological ailments. That's compared to other Gulf War veterans who were not exposed. Researchers collected data through telephone interviews from nearly 2,000 veterans. You can read more about it in the September-October issue of the American Journal of Preventive Medicine. Your mouth is telling stories about you without saying a word. Dentists are now beginning to understand how much your mouth reveals about possible diseases elsewhere in the body. Colleen Burns has more.
Very bad, very bright red, and my gums seem to be receding before my eyes.
Let's take a look inside.
Colleen Baran learned the hard way. Your mouth is a window to your health.
I was afraid, was this ever going to go away?
Until a visit to the University of Minnesota School of Dentistry, she'd given up hope.
I lost confidence in doctor and dentist because I thought, oh my gosh, the things that they're telling me to do are not working. There's something else going on.
And she was right. Looking at her troubled gums and sensitive tongue led to Colleen's correct diagnosis, a serious thyroid condition.
The mouth can be a pretty good indicator of either some sort of change in the individual's overall system. Could you bite together for me, Nancy? Good.
Signs of Nancy Palmer's lupus showed up in her mouth long before diagnosis.
I'd had probably canker sores from the time I was a teenager on. I'd had a lot of cavities. I ended up with a lot of root canals.
Severe oral problems can lead doctors to a diagnosis of everything from diabetes to cancer to AIDS.
It can be easily seen that it's still pretty red and inflamed.
Dr. Rodas is trying to start a trend, training dentists to think about more than just the mouth.
We really want our dentists who are trained here to be fully aware of both the fact that what they see in the mouth might be an indication of systemic medical conditions and vice versa.
It's cancer treatment that gives David Scoviera oral problems.
And most of all, I think, is that I've had dry mouth, because when I've had a lot of treatment, chemotherapy and radiation.
If you take good care of your teeth and gums, dry mouth and canker sores don't have to mean something serious.
The first two steps are your own good personal hygiene, and then secondly, certainly following up with your regular dental care. If the tissues haven't really responded when the proper treatment has been applied and followed through, then at that point they can make the differential diagnosis.
So listening to your own mouth can shine a light on just how healthy you really are. Colleen Burns, All News Channel.
And for more information on maintaining good oral health, go to aboutsmiles.com on the web. The annual Health Maintenance Organization report card may be misleading. That, according to a study led by a professor at Harvard Medical School. He says if an unaccredited HMO receives a bad score, it does not have to publish it in the National Committee for Quality Assurance report. The latest report shows HMOs have made progress in several areas, but about 15% of unaccredited plans ask that their scores not be published. You can get more information in the Journal of the American Medical Association. And that is Your Health Today. I'm Jody Davis.
Some college kids took a study break for a chance at TV fame, but as peers and relatives alike get ready for the big debut, the stint for some actors could turn into more than just a day off from class.
Hi, Billy Mays here for Phone Free, the most revolutionary invention since the cell phone itself. Take a look at this. Phone Free is the first hands-free device designed with no wires, no plug-ins, and no hands. Phone Free transmits your conversation through the car radio speakers. Instead of hearing music, you hear the person you're talking to, so you get crystal clear sound. Just clip, press, and talk. It's that easy. Hi, this is Billy.
Hi, Billy. I'm just calling to confirm your appointment for today.
Okay, thanks for the call. In my car, Phone Free is the only one for me, because I can drive and talk at the same time and still remain focused. Phone Free fits any phone. It's so compact and portable, you could take it anywhere.
It's so simple. I just clip it to my phone and start talking. And because I don't have to hold my cell phone with my hand, I feel much safer.
Phone Free transmits your conversation through the car radio speakers. Instead of hearing music, you hear the other person. Why pay a fortune for other complicated systems when you can simply clip, press, and talk? But call right now, and we'll also include the universal dash mount that is designed to hold any phone and installs to any surface easily. That means you get Phone Free and the universal dash mount, all for just $19.95. But you gotta call now. Here's how to order.
But wait, as part of this special promotion, now you can get 2 Phone Frees for the price of 1. That's right, call now and get 2 Phone Frees with universal mounts, all for the unbelievable low price of just $19.95. Don't wait, there's never been a better time to call.
Call 1-800-220-1712 to order the amazing hands-free wireless phone free system. This exclusive limited-time offer is available only on TV. That's 2 Phone Free systems for $19.95 plus shipping and handling. Phone Free is backed by our 30-day money-back guarantee. Call 1-800-220-1712. Call now.
If you absolutely have to get your hands on Jennifer Aniston's Emmy dress, you can, and it's all for a good cause. 16 items worn by Hollywood's hottest at Sunday's Emmy Awards are now up for auction. All money raised will go to such groups as Cure, Autism Now, and UNICEF. The auction began Monday and goes through October the 7th. All you have to do is go to ubid.com and type in Emmy to take a look at the items that are up for bid, and good luck. A lot of college students spend their time watching TV, but some will soon find themselves not watching, but doing TV. Nearly 24 students at the University of North Carolina in Charlotte got the chance to star in an upcoming episode of the soap As the World Turns. And as Edward Lawrence shows us, it truly was a dream come true.
Action! UNC Charlotte made its soap opera debut. 24 people from Charlotte acted in this episode of As the World Turns. 3 got speaking parts.
Have you been practicing that in the mirror?
I didn't really do the mirror till last night, and then I was just like, whoa, it's tough. You need the interaction.
I feel very lucky. My grandmother, I talked to her, she was about to cry because she loves this soap opera.
Oh, I'm ready.
For Casey Gogolin, this day has even more significance. She turned 19 today.
I gotta go check my other concession.
Gogolin and others with speaking roles were in many scenes with 3 of the youngest As the World Turns stars.
Everyone's been really great. We've had all these walk-on roles with speaking lines, and they've had I think they're having a really great time.
They're not as experienced in certain ways, but everybody's pulled through big time.
It takes about 2 hours to set up all the equipment. With each new university, the staff has to start over. For the show's executive director, it's worth it because this provides publicity and opportunity.
We're looking for young talent. We're always looking for young talent. So far on this tour, we've found several people we'd like to bring to New York to screen test.
Get the spirit, come on.
Billy Poston hopes he gets the call to New York. If not, Poston, like his UNC Charlotte friends, appreciates their first taste of national exposure. Edward Lawrence, WBTV News 3, UNC Charlotte.
And that episode, the one taped on campus there, will air the week of November 25th on CBS. And that's the news for this half hour. I'm Stan Turner. Thank you very much for joining us. Across America in 30 minutes, this is All News Channel.
Would you be interested in owning your own executive consulting business in your home city? You'd be offering a unique financial service that would protect clients from lawyers, judgments, and government seizures. Did you know that over $160 billion was paid last year just to settle frivolous lawsuits? 1 out of 3 people that are in business or practice a profession will be sued this year. As an asset protection consultant, you could make as much as $4,500 from each client. If you're interested in earning a serious executive income by offering a unique and affordable service in huge demand, and if you're prepared to make an investment in your own business, part or full-time, then a former nationally known collection attorney and best-selling author wants to give you full information about this limited opportunity. To hear a recorded message with full details, call 1-800-228-8803. That's 1-800-228-8803. Call anytime, 24 hours, 1-800-228-8803.
Mystic Music presents 70s Feelings.
Well, that's the way I've always heard it should be. This is for all the lonely people. Sand in the clouds.
Let 70s Feelings awaken the dreams, the romance, the feelings that you remember.
Oh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I love you. I honestly love you. Loving you is easy.
Order your 70s Feelings today. 2 cassettes only $19.95. 2 CDs only $29.95. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-927-4774 or send $19.95.
And